Muy buenas noches, damas y caballeros. Welcome back to the new and improved Cine Nerds. I'm your host, Josue. Joining us from last time is Adi. Say hello, Adi.
Hola, no sé si me ven porque yo no me veo, pero aquí estoy.
Te ves bien,
Ahí,
te ves
ya.
bien.
ya.
And
Ya salí.
podcasts are mostly audio, so mejor que te escuche que te vea.
Hola.
Y regresando, after a long hiatus, is Isabel, aka Bells, one of the original co-hosts of the show. ¿Cómo ha estado, Bells?
I'm still tired, and it's been only a week that I'm back, or 2 weeks that I've been back.
You're still jet lagged?
A little bit, I think a bit. It's a 7-hour difference, I mean.
Vale. Well, we'll have to excuse some of our other co-hosts who unfortunately cannot be here for various reasons, but the show must go on, so así continuaremos con nuestros varios temas. All right, our feature presentation today, vamos a estar hablando de la película The Princess, y también vamos a estar hablando un poquito sobre los Emmys, algunas nominaciones, nuestras opiniones, but first, hay que hablar de las películas que van a estrenar esta semana. This week on premieres. Comencemos. Tengo primero aquí en la lista la película Where the Crawdads Sing.
Honestly, I love the fast-paced, and I know it's just a trailer, but it's the fast-paced murder mystery situation of it all.
Yeah. So from what we can tell in the trailer, it's the story of a girl who mostly grew up in the swamps somewhere in the south of the U.S. Y ella, por ser tan campesina del pantano, she kind of ostracized by society. And aparece un cadáver en el pantano en que ella es la sospechosa primordial.
Porque es la única que está alrededor
en los pantanos, sí.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sí. En el trailer se ve como que hay algo ahí, como que entre dos jevos y un revolú, y de ahí maybe brincan I don't know, como a la sospecha.
We do see hints of a love triangle, yes. Y según los blurbs del trailer, it's based on like a best-selling novel. And it's like, well, it's got everything. It's got the South. Americans love the South.
I mean, I honestly thought, I was like, okay, it's Florida. It looks like Florida.
I think it's supposed to be like South Carolina or something. I don't know.
También.
It's got a love triangle and a murder mystery. What's not to love? I sound sarcastic, but I mean it. Es como que parece ser el tipo de drama that people just love, and
yeah.
And
looks interesting.
If it's picked from a book series, then it must be
exactly.
Like it must be even to read it.
Or at the very least, successful enough,
Exactly.
Exactly.
No, who knows? There's obviously murder as mysteries go. Van a haber twists, van a haber turns. There's probably going to be some sort of conspiracy behind that.
Y yo en mi mente cuando estaba viendo el trailer como que ¿a qué es la policía? Because I'm a huge fan of mystery novels. I'm like, en la fucking policía.
Yeah, I did not get enough info from the trailer to even begin guessing.
I'd rather have it like that than for them to tell me the whole story in the trailer.
Oh, sure. De hecho, Adi, ¿te acuerdas que terminamos hablando
de los spoilers y las cosas de los...
We went on a long rant about trailers that spoil way too much.
Sí, yo pienso que sí da la información, te puede dejar pensando que maybe esto, como tú dices, puede ser el policía, puede ser el tipo, puede ser la muchacha, pueden ser muchas cosas, pero no te dice tanto, a pesar de que es una novela, o que posiblemente si te pones a buscar info, que uno no lo va a hacer porque te spoileas tú mismo la película, podrías saber más.
You already read it, and the people are just waiting to see if they are true to the book, because
claro.
Entramos en el caso de que mucha gente, incluyéndome a mí, yo no voy a esconder de esto, incluyéndome a mí, que we're all bookworms, and once a book is adapted to a movie, we expect a lot.
Yeah.
Sí, definitivo.
Es un buen balance, like, donde tú justificas cambios y donde tú piensas que como que nada, no hubieran cambiado esto.
Exacto.
Because not every book is going to work one-to-one adapted into a movie. There's always got to be changes, different
Claro.
mediums and whatnot. Diferente también si adaptas una obra que es de otra época.
I mean, yes and no at the same time, because there's moments when they change something in the movie that's of course based on the book that was completely unnecessary.
Oh yeah,
A few examples, but I'm not going to go into a tangent like that.
That's always the problem. Yeah.
Sí, claro.
Completely unnecessary. Like if you change, it's not going to change anything. It's not going to change the pace. It's not going to change the trauma, the plot, anything. Why
Sí, yo me imagino que es por el que está haciendo la película pensará, oh, como que a la gente le va a gustar más si le ponemos este detalle o algo, y a veces no, como tú dices, es nada necesario.
Everybody's really the opposite. Like, we don't like this.
That's one of the reasons que yo extraño Lord of the Rings is my favorite film trilogy of all time. Una de las cosas que me encanta del extended edition, it has the lengthy behind the scenes documentary, and they actually bother to explain why they made certain changes from the book.
Then that would be best for most of them, because
me gusta because like you can agree, you can disagree, pero por lo menos like I hear from them why they made the change, you know?
Claro.
Pero, pues,
like, you would like to know the creative process of this producer, of the screenwriter, of every single person that works into this movie, and reasons why they changed what they had to change. Even if it's the most stupidest thing.
Yeah.
Because if I'm mistaken, I remember reading the Harry Potter books, the first one. McGonagall was there in the first part. If you guys remember when Harry got picked up by Hagrid. And an explanation in the book said that the motorcycle that Hagrid had is not Hagrid's. It's Sirius Black. So small little details, but also Harry Potter is very true to the book as well, because
but then bueno, siempre y cuando no sea, you're not too much of a stickler, or else we get an example de Harry Potter de Dumbledore as calmly.
Yeah,
se ha convertido en un meme.
As calmly. That then, I remember.
Like in the book, he says he asked Harry calmly if he put his name in the Goblet of Fire. When in the movie, he's like very frantic. He's like, "Did you put the name on the Goblet of Fire?" And it's kind
of interesting as well, because you can kind of compare both reactions, and you would think, okay, so if he asked calmly, he still had like this little kind of stern voice, like he's calm, but you know the fury behind his voice.
Yeah, there's sometimes you do changes. I'm the kind of guy que como que I like to look at the big picture. I mean, me molesta when people like nitpick, like, oh, this movie sucks porque tal cosa, como que, bro, tantos graves problemas que esta película o serie tiene y tú te estás enfocando en eso que it's arguably not an issue.
Yep.
Como one of my favorite examples, like Indiana Jones 4 is like, oh man, that movie sucks because of the refrigerator scene. It's like, bruh, there's a lot of other problems in that movie.
There's a lot more, but they have to choose that one.
So el embuste del refrigerator isn't even the stupidest thing he's done in these movies.
Definitely. The guy's creative.
Yeah, but we digress. The movie looks interesting. Looks like a nice little murder mystery. I'm not one to go out as much as I used to, but I am looking forward for when it comes out on streaming. And I can just sit back and watch it.
Yo también.
Esto parece ser una buena película. Parece ser una buena película para ver cuando está lloviendo. Get some popcorn, snuggle up to that special someone, and then just kind of watch it. Try and guess where the plot is going.
La actriz me gusta. La actriz es la chica esta que sale en Fresh y Normal. No sé si alguna vio esa serie.
No.
Bueno, es la chamaca, por lo menos yo he visto un par de cosas recientes y es bastante buena, so me gustaría verla en esta historia así medio deprimente.
Eso siempre es bueno. It's an exciting little thing cuando tú ves un actor o actriz que te gusta and you see them in this bigger thing. It's like, oh, I hope que esto le abra la puerta to do more interesting stuff. Bueno, I guess we can move on to the next.
Exactly.
To the next one. It's Paws of Fury.
Okay. I absolutely love the trailer only because Samuel L. Jackson just came up first. Hey, it's Samuel L. Jackson, and I'm voice acting. Da 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 da.
Sí, es como que
Highlight, and not just that, they definitely, of course, this is a children's show, but I
Yeah.
don't know if you guys saw cuando no sé qué pasó en esa situación, and he said something along the line of motherfucker, but censored, and I'm like,
okay.
Bueno,
but it's still Samuel L. Jackson.
para mí, en verdad, yo no soy súper fan de las películas así de animación, no son como que lo más que me encanta. So, honestamente, lo único que me llamó la atención fue que la voz la hacía Samuel L. Jackson. Si no, fuera de eso, era como que, no. Pero como te digo, no soy súper fan de las películas de animación. So.
I love animation. Last episode, I went on a rant on Illumination y las películas de Minions. Pero es como que esto looks like a level below that. So es como que like Disney and Pixar, DreamWorks, y Illumination, y acá abajo es película similar a esta. It's
Right.
from that's.
But you gotta admit, the character choices, as in the voice actor choices, are pretty incredible because it's not just Samuel L. Jackson. You got Michael Cera, Mel Brooks, you got Ricky Gervais,
Yeah,
and Gabriel Iglesias, which is one of my favorite actor / comedian.
Mel Brooks. Like, my God, what are you doing
Wow,
here,
and
man?
Michael Cera too. Michael Cera's
You are-
been a while.
Está vivo, he's alive.
Yeah, algo así.
Aunque él también estuvo en la de Hotel Transylvania, so you know, it looks like he's just doing it for the fun, you know. I'm not gonna take that away from him. The man has earned
George
enough.
Takei is also in this one.
Thinking.
George Takei.
Oh yeah, they even make him say his catchphrase.
Yeah.
You think sometimes he goes like, "Hey, listen, can I just do one movie
Without doing it? I mean,
doing the."
We've seen it throughout like cinema history. Even I can use the example of Jennifer Aniston, that she gets so tired of being called Rachel and having the song pop up at one point in her life. So I'm guessing it's almost the same way as George Takei.
I feel like George Takei is like that scene from The Simpsons, the "I didn't do it" scene. It's like, say the line, George. Oh my! Yay!
I mean, it reminds me of Futurama all the time.
Hey, Futurama.
The best. I cannot not mention Futurama in any of these episodes. So
yeah, of course. Hey, Futurama and The Simpsons during its heyday is some of the best television ever. So
yeah, and their predictions as well, at least for The Simpsons.
Oh yes. Yes.
We could do a whole episode about that, and I would be glad to debunk the idea that they somehow predicted.
Okay, we got an episode for that.
Las predicciones de los Simpsons.
Man, but yeah, Paws of Fury. It just looks like one of those movies que está siguiendo el template that was set by DreamWorks.
It made me feel very Kung Fu Panda-ish.
Yeah, but
sí, eso pensé también. Vieron Kung Fu Panda.
Pero Kung Fu Panda esas películas son excelentes, no me perdona. Like,
it's all because of Jack Black.
But not just that, man. I was rewatching Kung Fu Panda 2 con mi novia, and we were like, man, this movie is about Po confronting his childhood trauma. What the hell?
I mean, there is some darkness inside of that.
Y el villano es una figura casi shakespeariana.
También.
It's really good. Oh, excuse me.
I haven't seen the whole, like all of them. I remember the first and the second, but I don't remember any after that because I know they came out with a lot more stuff.
Well, there was a third movie. Una tercera que para mí it's kind of the weakest of the three, pero no la he visto en buen tiempo, so maybe lo veré este fin de semana or something para recordarme. But I do remember being disappointed by it. Y han sacado un par de series, salió una nueva ahora en Netflix. They even got Jack Black to return. So,
I mean, if he's not, creating music for Tenacious D or creating weird TikToks.
Oh, I love the D.
Yes.
Take it out of context if you want. I love Tenacious D.
Tenacious D is one of my favorites. And if you're hanging out with me, and for everybody who's watching, this is going to happen. If you put Beelzebub, I know the whole song and I will sing it to you. I do not care.
Yeah, yo una vez fui para un karaoke y yo canté la de Tribute, que es mi favorita de ellos. Y cuando salió esa canción, just a bunch of drunk people were like, "Ah!" This one guy hugged me like, "Thank you, man. I love Jack Black." And I'm like, "Don't touch me."
Who are you?
It's the power of the D.
It's the power of the D. The D. Okay, no demonetization.
Karaoke episode.
Oh, a karaoke. Well, it's going to be a little bit hard to do a karaoke episode because of copyrighted issues.
Yeah, lo que vamos a tener que hacer es simplemente sacar una noche de jangueo en San Juan or whatever. A karaoke bar.
Yeah.
We do like a staff party or something.
Lex, right? So for the next one, I'm kind of interested in the Gray Man. The
Gray Man.
Sorry.
Yeah, I was sold. Go ahead.
It's not because it's a normal action thriller movie. It's because I'm seeing that Ryan Gosling is getting into his villain phase as well, because Ryan Gosling was a lover boy situation, and then MCU.
Don't you mean Chris Evans?
No, but Chris Evans is the villain.
No, but he looks badass. When I say villain,
yes,
like he's kind of taking over and looking more badass instead of the lover boy.
Okay.
And that's MCU.
Aunque él tiene una que es, creo que es Drive, que él también se ve como que medio malote.
Yeah.
En Drive se ve así más o menos, maloteo así.
Honing that. That's what I love the most about it.
A mí me llamó la atención porque it's the Russo brothers, and they directed some of my favorite of the Marvel movies. So es como que, okay. A mí lo que es Captain America 2, Civil War, y Infinity War are like top tier the Marvel movies. Y aunque tengo mis problemas con Endgame, that finale is just fucking amazing.
That's true.
Yeah, they've got the golden touch. Supuestamente ellos dicen que les encantaría hacer una película basada en Secret Wars. And I'm like, yes, please.
So they're going to expand more on this. This is going to be interesting.
Yeah, I'm like, ya llega un punto que with the Marvel movies that I'm like, okay, I'm slowing down. Las veré cuando salgan en Disney Plus. I'm not gonna go out of my way to see them in the theaters. Pero a la misma vez, I'm like, a Secret Wars would be a fun movie to see in the theaters.
Yeah, as long as it's not like the Eternals.
Al fin la vi porque como vi la de... ¿Cuál es la serie? La más reciente. Moon Knight. Vi Moon Knight. Like, okay, déjame familiarizarme con los dioses de este universo. The Eternals. And it's like, it is so bland.
They needed a little bit of sazon in it. I don't know what happened.
It really did. Like, I get that they were going for like a melancholy thing.
Mm-hmm.
But, no sé.
Fíjate, con Eternals, yo no pensaba que Eternal iba a ser nada buena. Yo fui a acompañar a una persona que la quería ver. Y literalmente yo esperaba como que la experiencia iba a ser como cuando tú acompañas a alguien al hospital y simplemente tienes que estar ahí, pero no esperas pasarla bien.
Mm-hmm.
So, mis expectativas eran tan y tan bajitas que no la encontré tan mala. Como que, okay, pude ver esto, it's not that bad. So, pero sí, es larga, tiene demasiado, tiene tantos personajes, tiene tanta cosa que es mucho y hay partes que se caen, la emoción, la intensidad, pero...
Por lo menos en mi opinión, había demasiado que caía. It was so slow-paced, and everybody knows that I hate slow-paced stuff. But it was so bad.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't think the Gray Man's going to be slow-paced. Por lo menos el trailer no vendió.
No parece.
Like lo que no entendí, all I know is that everybody's chasing Ryan Gosling. Todo el mundo lo están persiguiendo. Yes. Tenemos a Chris Evans como el malo with the perv mustache, persiguiéndolo por todos lados. And it's going to be like a John Wick sort of thing where donde todo el mundo lo quiere matar. Like, es como que yo lo vi que es como que, okay, so it's kind of like a Bourne movie mixed crossed with a John Wick movie, pero con la cinematografía of a Marvel movie.
Exactamente. Como
Yeah.
que,
Lo bueno es que it's coming out on Netflix, so no tengo que salir del cine para verla.
No.
oh,
So, yeah.
Are you guys more of a fan of going to the movies or stream service when it comes to new upcoming movies?
I love the movies. Me encanta la experiencia de ir al cine. Lo que pasa es que I'm 30. I have a 9 to 5 job. 5 días a la semana. Tengo 2 días en el fin de semana, and often otras cosas, other responsibilities get in the way. I just don't have the time.
yo entiendo, igual yo también trabajo de 8 a 5, pero sí prefiero la experiencia del cine, solo que maybe no para todas las películas. Hay películas que en verdad yo digo, diablo, esta película en verdad me encanta y la quiero ver ahí, quiero sentarme, relax. Y hay otras que es como, pues está nice, pero la puedo esperar.
Y hay películas que es como que la experiencia de tú verlo en un crowd.
Ajá.
Volviendo a Infinity War, después del snap que medio mundo se muere, el silencio que había en ese cine era delicioso. It was delicious.
It can cut. I remember that.
Y la experiencia.
I'm the opposite. Yo como que sí, me encanta ver ciertas películas en el cine. But I've been an introvert since I was a kid.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
I like being in crowds. I don't like being in places where I'm uncomfortable. And some of those chairs are uncomfortable. So I would opt out more for streaming than going to movies.
Okay.
Yeah, that's definitely fair.
Yo después de la pandemia estoy un poco así. Pero antes no es, venga, todo el mundo súbeme encima. Pero ahora estoy un poco más.
Yeah, this pandemic has changed perspectives on a lot of things.
Definitely. I think I would say 80% of people turned into an introvert for some reason.
And it's still going. My God, it's still going. Hoy mismo estaba hablando con una amistad que le dio COVID, and I'm like, oh my God.
Sí, sigue pasando.
Ay, pero todavía no me ha tocado, pero es como que I'm looking over my shoulder at every time. I'm like, oh shit.
Yo pensaba que a mí nunca me iba a tocar, pero ya me tocó este año.
I was about to say the same thing, and not just that. In the trip, so como sabes, Josué, estaba 3 semanas en Europa. Y la primera semana me dio COVID.
Oh my God. Ay, bendito.
And it was such a roller coaster. And it felt como un catarro. Para que todo el mundo que no ha cogido COVID y están con miedo de que se van a sentir como horrible. If you got the 4 vaccines, it's going to be feeling like a flu.
Okay, también everybody's affected differently también, but generally speaking, claro. Eso es lo que yo he oído de most.
Sí, como que más para el tiempo para acá, todo el mundo le está dando como que más catarro. A mí me dio 3 días bastante un catarrito malo y después poco a poco se fue, pero no me asfixié ni...
Pero ya yo estoy que
conmigo fue con la diabetes, que tenían todo miedo, and then we've noticed that my blood sugar was fine.
Bueno.
Completely fine, so it
pero
didn't affect it.
Pudiste disfrutar el resto del viaje. So.
No. Hold on. Because I got COVID and I had to get tested before going on the cruise, they had to cancel the whole cruise. And not just that, I couldn't stay by myself in Rome and let the rest of my family go and, take the cruise because, I was the only one testing positive. Once you test positive, everybody will be positive technically to them. So we had to cancel. We had to find a hotel to quarantine in because it was all at the last minute. It was the day before going in on the cruise and where the Airbnb was going to finish. So it was hell. But we got the hotel, which, by the way, Josue, you're going to have a kick on this. I was in Rome, and the hotel that I was in, the name of the, le dicen Villa, se llama Villa Ezio. Yaki, oh God, everybody look at me. What's wrong with her? Y'all not gamers.
No, just all I have to say is nothing is true. Everything's permitted.
But yeah, because of pandemic, at least as an introvert originally, thrived. And that's why streaming was normal to me. A lot of the people that weren't introverted now has the comfort of still being at home and having that mental health day situation, because a lot of people who are extroverts also had a lot of issues,
Exacto.
in my opinion.
Oye, y ahora que mencionas lo de los streaming, ¿viste o vieron que Netflix va a empezar a cobrar?
Eso pasó
¿Y hubo?
hoy.
Ajá.
¿Qué está pasando?
And Netflix, me encanta, Netflix is hemorrhaging money, and they're like, and they're going about all the wrong ways.
So
Es como que
Mira,
es el meme del boardroom meeting. ¿Qué podemos hacer para
seguir generando dinero.
para no perder dinero? Uno dice prohibir el comparto de passwords, añadir anuncios, y el tercero, sacar productos y series que valgan la pena, y lo botan de la ventana.
no, tú no, eso no.
Because Netflix is trying a very quantity over quality approach.
Definitely.
Entonces, de vez en cuando Netflix saca algo que está buenísimo, como lo que es Castlevania, lo que es Beastars,
Squid Games.
Squid Game.
Ah,
Squid
Squid
Game.
Game.
Squid Game, no lo he visto, pero Stranger Things.
Umbrella Academy es otro.
But they also like release so much crap.
Sí.
Way too many.
Para el costo que tiene, es como que me tiraste estas 3 cosas bien buenas, pero las terminé de ver y el resto del tiempo tengo esto.
Y tampoco ayuda que, pues, ahora todas las compañías quieren su propio streaming service. So Netflix tiene que pagar más por películas que ellos tengan en su
Competencia.
Y la competencia es como que...
So ahora tenemos Netflix, Hulu, que siempre ha existido for a long, long time. And then metimos HBO Max, metimos Paramount Plus, metimos Discovery Plus, Disney Plus. What is up?
Peacock, everything.
Peacock, Crunchyroll for anime lovers.
Yeah, Crunchyroll, which announcement, Devil is a part-timer just came out. Second season. For anybody who's an anime lover and loved the first season of Devil's a Part-Timer, we finally got the second season. So, me quedo callado.
Die.
Y mira que estamos hablando de pandemia, we can transition to the last one because it actually has to do with Puerto Rico ya de por sí, que es
serán las dueñas de la tierra.
Which has to do with what happened here in Puerto Rico durante María. And con la agricultura mayormente.
Con la agricultura, sí.
Por lo que aparenta ser un documental, es un documental, ¿verdad?
Sí, es un documental.
Es un documental básicamente sobre eso, sobre el estado de la agricultura en Puerto Rico. En el trailer demuestra que a pesar de toda la cosecha que hacemos, el 80% de la comida que consumimos aquí en Puerto Rico viene de afuera.
Definitivamente.
So,
y tristemente, because of Jones Act, it has to go to third party and this and that. There's a lot of shit happening.
De seguro va a tocar todo eso. Va a ser el tipo de película que los profesores de la uni are just gonna love showing their students.
Definitivamente.
Las de economía, las de agricultura, todo el mundo va a estar enseñando esta película definitivamente.
Y no me sorprendería si después vendrán, vamos a ir de algunos padres, están radicalizando a nuestros hijos. ¿By what? Showing them the truth.
Exacto. And even then, we've already known after the fact how bad it can get and how bad it would get if we had another one.
Ay, God. Sí, ni mencionarlo, ¿verdad?
I almost died during Maria. Estaba yo, teníamos la planta prendida, pero mi papá decía, ok, pues vamos a desconectar para que no se dañe nada. Josué, hijo, ve y desconecta el televisor de la sala. Y yo, ok, cuando escucho lo que yo juraba que era un relámpago al lado de la casa, and then I suddenly feel a draft. La ventana del cuarto donde yo estaba fue destruido por un proyectil. If I was standing like a foot further back, I could have been hit.
Oh.
Instead, what happened is yo bien como una caricatura, como que ¡pam! Did you hear that? Oh, shit.
Ay, madre mía, no. Qué mal.
Oh, God.
I laughed because nothing happened.
Situation. That's what I love about you, Josué. Laughter of a bad situation. That I would have been crying. Even though it didn't happen.
Mira, sí, temblando.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I mean, I was panicking already. Cuando me pasó, no algo similar, it was outside of the house, but nosotros tenemos 2 portones en la casa de mi padre. Y one was a sheet of metal.
Ujú.
Instead of opening it, we kept it closed. It was really dumb of us from doing that because, obviamente, con todos los vientos, voló y dio el segundo portón. And we, to this day, still have a hole en ese portón.
Ay, Dios mío.
Yeah. It
Lo que
took years
por
para...
ese día ahí fue mi tío, porque mi tío estaba saliendo a cada rato para fumar.
Dice que se echaba que yo tengo que salir.
Prioridades.
No, fíjate, en mi experiencia, yo todo como que miraba cada rato por la ventana, digo, todo está bajo control, hay un vientito, las ventanas están haciendo así, pero al otro día cuando salí, literalmente salí del cantito de mi calle para allá, fue como ver, qué sé yo, una película de estas de zombie, literal, todo como que, what the fuck, ¿qué pasó aquí?
Conmigo, nosotros era en Corozal, en el monte, que a propósito, por ahí pasó el ojo. So,
Ay, diablo.
Todos los árboles con las ramas tumbas y todo eso, parecía un bosque muerto y después el día después, la mañana después, la neblina. It looked like a fucking horror movie. Es como
Ya, me la está ganando.
Mira, yo...
zombie movie, that just sounds to me like Silent Hill.
Yeah, kinda.
Uf.
Lo único que falta es el siren. Ahí es cuando ahí, bolt.
Ah, bueno, pero eso era cuando el toque de queda, cuando eran las 5 de la tarde, pues eso era.
Wow. Oh my God, that would have been a panicky situation as well.
Ay, si uno dijera que es como que pues, we'll just stay here and chill, no, después los días después éramos todos los hombres del barrio sacando escombros de las carreteras y cosas.
No teníamos que cortar un árbol aquí, que era one of the biggest trees we have in the street. By the way, I live in the city. Estoy en San Juan, en Río Piedra en específico. And all of them were trying to cut this thing con machete. It was a thick.
Ay, sí.
Tree. Y no había gasolina para sierra.
Por la mano.
There we go. A mí lo más funny era que todo el mundo llegábamos a las casas a ayudar con los escombros y nos decían, no tenemos mucha agua potable para tomar, pero tenemos cerveza. I've never been as drunk as I have been post Maria, and not for the reasons you would think.
Mire, pero la cerveza caliente.
Sí.
Rayo.
Yeah. Llegamos a casa de un tío, mira, nos tumbaron los cocos y tengo Black Label. Ok.
Ay, Dios mío.
I swear to God, vi un mosquito una noche, yo tratando de dormir, un mosquito me picó en el flew away, como que más dizzy.
Wobbler. Okay. I mean, me está dando unos flashbacks bien brutales de María.
And yeah, I would not be surprised if watching this documentary would bring us some rough memories.
No, de verdad que
sí. Yeah, es una temática porque tenemos tanto buena tierra para tener una infraestructura de comida. Y como enseñaron en el trailer, había muchachas que estaban diciendo, mira, yo sobreviví porque nosotros pudimos cosechar algo.
Ajá.
Porque si nos quedábamos esperando por el gobierno, nos moríamos de hambre.
Exacto, y me encanta que también van a enseñar la importancia de tener una cosecha y puede ser que hasta inspire gente a hacer su propia cosecha. Hasta puedo decir de mi parte, I love gardening. Y para tener una casa, tener mi cosecha, that's the plan, because not just to cut the cost of living, but to survive in situations like this. And for example, Europe also has that tendency to do that, because once I went and I was going to Florence, all the houses you see in Italy tienen cosecha, todos.
Exacto.
Todos. So you know they will survive correctly. And people are going to see also that in this documentary how much a Puerto Rican has to work so hard to survive, even without the whole Maria thing going by. For sure.
Sí, definitivamente hay que verlo porque, como dice, nos va a enseñar muchas cosas que yo creo que la gente a veces escucha un poquito de aquí y de allá, pero no saben realmente lo que se está moviendo y lo necesario que es, o que es bueno que vayan y lo vean y aprendamos todo un poco más.
Y me encanta también que van a enseñar la resiliencia de nosotros. Definitivo. We're resilient people.
Ahí sí.
Eso.
Yeah.
Habrá que ver cuál sería la distribución de ese documental y cuál.
Definitivo.
Y si ya hacemos alcance. I'm hoping, eso, I mostly said it as a joke, but I am hoping que se convierta en un documental rotativo común en lugares educativos como escuelas y universidades.
Que se aproveche.
Yeah.
Exacto. Can you guys kick Twister out of the way and put this documentary instead? That's not even,
Yeah.
Twister's not even a documentary.
Like,
Exacto.
te pones Food Inc. y después pones esa.
Exacto.
Because esa es otra que siempre, like almost every year en la universidad, like I would take like an economics or una clase de ética, y era en ética que la pusieron, and I'm like, well, I'm scarred for life.
I think it's not for the faint of heart, pero yo me recuerdo por lo menos en la high, no en la high, en middle school, la más que ponían era Twister y Journey to the Center of the Earth, I think it was called.
Yeah, vaya.
Why Journey to the Center of the Earth?
I do not know.
Porque eso ni siquiera.
That's like, it's literal science fiction.
Uh-huh.
Supongo que ahí pueden discutir una de las teorías de tiempos victorianos, but there's not much to say about hollow earth theory except, yeah, of course it's not true.
I mean, los colegios. Son los
Yeah.
colegios.
Oh my God.
Los colegios.
Yeah.
Pero,
Ay, pues a mí no me pusieron ninguna de esas.
A mí me pusieron.
ones.
Yo me acuerdo que para historia de Estados Unidos en la high me pusieron The Patriot, and then I actually looked up the history, and it's like, oh, the Patriots got everything wrong.
Yeah. There's a couple of movies out there that got everything wrong in history.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
There's a cool YouTube channel, aunque they haven't updated in a while, que se llama History Buffs, y eso comparan series y películas basadas en eventos históricos with the real history.
The one that I like to watch a lot is Drunk History.
Drug History, that's a fun one.
So funny. So funny. Está otro que también, it was like a versus situation that they explained, pero no me recuerdo.
Deadliest Warrior?
Algo así. Algo así.
Yeah, no sé.
Pero, I think you're better when it comes to history movies. You really got to be accurate because you don't want to misinform. And then,
or at the very least,
day and age of misinformation, nobody's gonna live that down. Nobody's
or at the very least, make it clear if it's not meant to be historically accurate.
Exacto.
Por ejemplo, la película de 300, you can make the argument que como la película está contada por un narrador espartano, of course they're gonna exaggerate a bunch of shit in that movie.
Yeah.
So like, okay, fine. Just make it clear if it's not trying to actually tell the history.
Exacto.
Excluyendo lo que es mitología, because those are mostly spoken history.
Yeah, pero lo bueno la mitología, I give it more leeway because entre las mismas culturas, las historias tenían sus diferencias, so it's just a matter of how you interpret it.
Exactly.
Bueno, speaking of a historical setting, a movie set in a historical setting, while not following any actual history, is our feature presentation, Hulu's The Princess.
The Princess.
So, first thought I had, película is by 20th Century Fox. ¿Tú crees que la veremos a ella al lado de Merida y Mulan?
Okay, well, I got a lot of things to say about this movie.
Yeah. So, the basic plot is, esta princesa se despierta, because the movie starts in media res. Ella se despierta en su cuarto.
Típico.
Su castillo ha sido overrun by these thugs, run by this one guy who wants to marry her for the throne, and she's basically fighting her way to get to her family and rescue them from this madman.
It's the classic narcissistic trope of prince wants everything and he'll find a way to get it.
Yeah, and first thoughts, the plot is paper thin.
Super paper fan.
The dialogue is very placeholder. O sea, algunos diálogos era tan clichoso que es como que, did you just get, was this a temporary dialogue, but no, o sea, decidieron no actualizarlo? Pero you don't watch it for that. If you're gonna watch this movie, es por la acción.
Definitely.
La película es una excusa para demostrar la coreografía en todas las escenas de pelea. And you know what? Fuck yeah. Just watch it for that.
I need movies like that. There is moments that I can argue it was a little bit too choreographed. But I don't know why it's so quirky, if that makes sense. Like some of those choreographs are super quirky and funny, and it has a sprinkle of comedy in it, and it's so well executed.
Una de las cosas que yo aprecio de esta película es que muchas películas de acción, especialmente después de la década de los 2000, they don't show the action, they get the camera real close up and shake it a bunch, and it's like I can't appreciate the choreography, man. What's going on? En esta, they're like, no, you're gonna see the fight.
Es verdad.
Vamos a mover la cámara y hacer eso, pero es para que tú puedas ver mejor todas las cosas que esta chica está haciendo. Lo otro que está brutal es como, obviamente, tú te esperas, porque ella es una princesa, la mayoría de los hombres aquí son más grandes y fuertes que ella, sí, pero ella sabe cómo pelear, ella utiliza el hecho que ella es más pequeña a su ventaja, she does flips, utiliza like her environment como las mesas y las sillas, usa de todo. It's like, man,
no, y que ella conoce dónde ella está porque esa es su casa.
Exacto.
So que dice, yo me meto por aquí,
so it's like Die Hard and Home Alone. in a medieval.
Meredith Home Alone.
It's Die Hard, Home Alone, at the Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon in a medieval setting.
Love it.
Porque también, obviamente, ella fue entrenada por una guerrera asiática, so she does a lot of flips and kicks, and it's like, okay, I like this. It was fun. It was dumb. Era bien dumb.
Yeah.
Algo que me kind of took me out of it is one of her first major opponents is this really big guy, que lo único que tiene puesto son los calzoncillos esos de cuero y un casco tapándole la cara.
I see.
Es como que, like, he looks so out of place for the rest of the bad guys, you know. Everybody else tiene una armadura puesta, están vestidos de negro, and then there's this one guy who looks like a Conan the Barbarian reject. It's like,
Ese que era en tierra como un cuerno por la espalda, algo así.
Sí.
Yeah. I did like that they showed that the armor is not completely indestructible. They showed that there is weak spots.
Yeah, they were smart about it porque hay muchas películas set en tiempos antiguos y medievales en el que tienen toda esta armadura, pero aún así le tocas con la espada y se muere. Las de Narnia hacen eso.
Yeah.
Hasta cierto nivel las de Lord of the Rings, although me being the obsessive nerd watching it, after watching a few videos about battle scenes in YouTube, I'm like, let's see how Lord of the Rings does it. Y he notado que por lo menos con Aragorn, he does always aim for like the neck and the armpit when he's fighting the orcs. I'm like, oh, that's cool.
It's interesting to know, but armor has its weak points. You cannot cover everything.
Claro. Entonces no te puedes mover, como que
mobilizes you. So you have to. Back in the day, had to balance mobility and protection.
Sí, entonces, and that makes it more satisfying because ella tiene que figure out how to get past the armor. Just makes the fight all the better. Like cuando pelea contra el caballero dorado y termina teniendo que tirarle aceite y quemarlo vivo because his armor was like they actually show it. She showed her hitting the armor y no le hace nada. Y como que, yes, because that's what armor is for.
I also did like that the guy was so still.
Yeah, que parecía una estatua.
The reason is why because their face covered, if you want to say, el casco. Es bien poquito lo que pueden ver, como el escenario donde ella se metió a la bañera.
Esa
ellos miran bien.
Es como uno con la mascarilla ahora que no puedes ver. So que básicamente.
If you wear glasses, that's the worst. That's the worst.
Yeah. And like the choreography and the action is fun. obviamente se tiraron el girl power full con esta película.
Of
Like,
course.
por toda la película le están diciendo a ella, no, que no debes pelear, eso no es de princesa, y ella que se joda, yo quiero hacerlo.
Yeah.
Sí, eso fue
So,
bien
you know,
brave. Esa parte fue bien brave.
Yeah, bien brave, sí.
Incluso tiene el pelo colorado igual que Brave.
Yeah.
Efectivamente. And I love that they showed a different side of Joy King.
Sí.
I want to see her in more stuff.
Definitely.
Sí. Yeah.
For the most part, a lot of people recognize her for the act, for the kissing booth.
The kissing booth.
Some people just see her as drama, but you see here for woman empowerment, she's fighting and doing all these things that you don't normally see her do and executing it perfectly.
Yes.
Like, esto enseñó de verdad qué tipo de actriz ella es.
Sí, le enseña el compromiso que tiene, porque aprenderse todas esas cosas, al final de cuentas, está fuerte la condición física que tuvo que crear.
I mean, I would like dos diferentes escenas como ella, she kind of screams to psych herself up, en uno para dislocarse el dedo para poder escaparse de una.
Sí.
Y en otra cuando like she just screams at the guy para empujar, para brincar y empujarlo de una escalera, and I was like, oh man, this lady, she's fierce.
Oh yeah, and I feel like it's more accurate because I'm the type of person who puts the myself in their shoes in some situations, and I feel like if I was in that situation, I'm a badass woman, knows how to fight and all that stuff. I still gotta scream to hype myself up because I'm scared shitless.
Sí, sí.
No, yo creo que aun cuando ella es chiquitita, yo soy bajita también, no sé tú. Pero, ¿perdón?
5'1", yo soy 5'1".
Yo soy 5'3". Y yo sé que en un momento así, yo no sé, pero yo voy a buscar la fuerza, y así mismo buscar la manera, meterme, colarme. Si
pero
uno tiene el coraje.
Que somos chiquitas y que somos más ágiles y más rápidos.
Bueno, como él dijo, exacto, como se dice.
Yeah. And another actress that I want to kind of shine upon is Olga Krielenko, I think it's her name. I've seen her before. I've seen her in Oblivion, Hitman, Johnny English, Quantum Solace. I think I don't remember.
Did she play the whip lady?
The which one?
The whip lady?
Yes. The whip lady. Like we've seen her and she's such a badass. Like you want to hate her, but you love her at the same time. And that whole whip, but having that double knife.
That whip was magic, though.
That was gorgeous.
Era bien ese látigo era bien anime en cómo lo utilizaba.
You have to admit the weaponry in this movie is amazing.
Es variado, sí, porque no es solamente espada, like hay diferentes tipos de espada, hay hachas, hay martillos.
Pero si ella tenía un arsenal gigante en la casa cuando le dice a la hermanita, vente, métete para acá.
Sí.
Aparentemente nadie sabe de ese sitio.
Ajá.
Hablando de esa hermanita, a mí una de las cosas que me hizo así como que, ay Dios mío, obviamente quieren enseñar que el malo es un hombre bien malo. Y una de las primeras cosas que él dice regañando al rey, estás dejando que esta gente entre a nuestro reino, y él mira a un grupo de asiáticos y gente de tez oscura. O sea, que, ok, racista y xenofóbico, de la manera que él le habla a la princesa, tú vas a aprender tu sitio, ok, misógino, ok, sí, él es el villano, tú quieres que él sea bien odiable, pero después él decide, no me voy a casar con la princesa, me voy a casar con la hermana. Tiene como 10 años y es like, aparte de todo, es pedófilo también, ok.
Bendito, it's like checking a box.
Sí, lo único que faltaba es que prendieran en llamas un orfanatorio y tiraran una caja de perritos ahí.
Técnicamente, he was ordering around to kill her. He's also a murderer.
Oh, yeah, but that's the least of our worries.
So they did another check mark over there, but they didn't show. There's something I didn't like. They didn't show much about the relationship between the whip girl and him.
Yeah.
We only saw that little glimpse of them just kissing and you're gonna be fine.
Algo, pero
nada más de eso, como que no que ella se ponga celosa o él se ponga celoso de la situación o nada.
Yeah, the movie definitely has its flaws. You're in it for the action, pero the plot is one of them. Otro, some of the humor doesn't land, like, mandaron al gordo que subieran las escaleras.
Even though the last of the was was kind of funny to me.
Y todo eso para un final punchline, que él es el único de los malos que sobrevivió. Él no ha percatado que todos están muertos y él llega y ve a la princesa. Ah, ahí está. Y ahí se acaba. It was like,
Found her.
it's like, uh-huh.
But I did like the sprinkling of comedy.
Oh, yeah.
It
Una
gave.
de mis escenas favoritas es cuando ella y uno de los tipos con los que ella estaba peleando como que se miran y empiezan a reír.
Ya, y después ella se pone súper seria y ok.
Después de toda la mierda que ellos pasaron, ellos se miran y empiezan a reír como que ese momento mutuo que tienen antes que se vuelvan a pelear. That was fun.
The movie is, for me, really good and one that I would recommend to watch.
Yeah, for what it is.
Sí,
Like,
es entretenido, exacto, dentro de lo que promete, que es la pelea y todas estas cosas, está bien.
Exacto, si tú eres alguien que te gusta películas como de artes marciales o películas de acción, just watch this. Like, don't pay too much attention to the plot. Just have fun con la coreografía and all that happens.
Yeah, the plot is very cookie cutter.
Nacho, sí, bien cookie cutter. Es como un basic D&D session.
Mm-hmm. It's just the I guess, like you said, base, and you'll build upon that, but they didn't build upon that. They just decided, okay, so this is a story, but I want more action.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But for what it's worth, it's really good action. It's very creative. Mm-hmm. Ellos piensan, there's no two action scenes that feel like the same.
Definitivamente.
There's siempre hay algo nuevo. Siempre there's a new set piece. There's new facets to the choreography. New use of weapons. Es bien variado, and I like that.
Sí, ellos que estuvieron bien pendientes, como que a ir cambiando. Yo lo vería como literalmente, si lo viera en un dibujo, la torrecita y voy pasando por aquí, hice esto, cambié mi ropa, hice esto, voy modificando el traje y voy como que y añadiendo cosas.
It reminds me of a dungeon crawler game.
Almost. Yeah, it does. It did feel like a video game, yeah. Pero es como que, okay, estamos en este cuarto. ¿Qué podemos hacer en este cuarto que no podemos hacer en este otro?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, esta pelea ahora son en las escaleras, en la torre. ¿Qué podemos hacer en las escaleras? Okay, llegamos a la cocina, en la cocina. ¿Qué podemos meterle en la cocina? Okay, obviamente a alguien le van a tener que tirar aceite caliente en la cara. Eso
sí, te puedo decir que había una escena en la cocina que I felt like it was too choreographed. Like it was kind of boring.
Yeah.
Predictable. But then tenemos a la trainer de Joey King al lado con el fucking man. ¡Pam!
Bueno.
Another minor flaw son los visual effects. Like, la mayoría de los special effects son prácticos, which is great. But the few times they use CGI, like al primer tipo que matan, que lo empujan de la ventana, that blue screen looked awful.
It was extremely finicky.
Y la parte cuando prenden el tipo en llamas en la armadura, ese fuego se vea bien fake.
Yeah.
Y cuando la tipa del látigo les peta aquí en el cuello el tipo, that also looked really fake. Mm-hmm. So the few times they did use CGI, it didn't look very good.
They needed to polish it a little bit more because it's not that it wasn't bad, but it wasn't good either. It needed a little bit more polishing.
Oh yeah.
Exactamente.
Probablemente esta película no tenía un budget bien alto y obviamente utilizaron el budget en the set design and the choreography.
Definitivamente. They knew what they wanted and they got it.
Exactly.
Just so go watch it. Don't think about it too much. Just have fun.
Have fun.
Just have fun. It's
I expect it to be an intense story.
Yeah, it's stupid.
Para pasar un ratito y sentarte ahí con tus papás. Exacto.
Tómanse un par de traguitos, bring some snacks, have some fun with it.
Yeah. Me recuerda mucho cuando yo vi una película que se llama Mayhem.
Mm-hmm.
It's extremely fast-paced. It has to do with like a viral infection that once it takes over,
it makes you violent.
It makes you extremely violent, extremely sexual. It heightens everything.
We saw it in the early days of this podcast. ¿Tú estabas con nosotros para ese entonces?
I am not sure. I remember watching it with my ex-boyfriend and loving every single minute of it.
Oh.
And not just because Margot Robbie is in there too.
Was that Margot Robbie?
That was Margot Robbie.
Hold on. Ay, yo no la he visto, la voy a buscar.
Boy. Mayhem. It's a very bloody. It's supposed to be like horror. Comedy?
Okay.
It's like action.
Bitch.
No, it's Samara Weaving.
I saw it in ¿cómo se llamaba este streaming service? Which is another streaming service. It was only horror. It's a only horror streaming service.
Yeah. Yo sé cuál es. Shutter.
Okay, well, wait, I'm wrong. It's not Margot Robbie. It looks like Margot Robbie. Her name is Samara Weaving.
Yeah.
Yo, but she
pues
looks exactly
lo voy a
like
buscar.
copy of Margot Robbie. With the same exact like personality that she does with Harley Quinn.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of which, viene el tercer season of the Harley Quinn show. I am excited.
I haven't seen it, but they told me so many things, and I've been seeing clips everywhere.
It's really good. You should watch it.
And I love. I'm not a big fan of Harley Quinn. I've never been a big fan of Harley Quinn. I was always a big fan of Poison Ivy.
Poison Ivy.
Yeah.
Lo que esta serie es buena porque the whole point es ella desarrollando un personaje alejándose del Joker. So it's her developing as her own person. So it's like, and it's really funny. Como lo más brutal es que como es una serie que se nota que DC le dijeron a los escritores como que just do what you want. So they were able to. Hay personajes que mueren que tú no esperarías que mueren y cosas así. Aunque hubo una pequeña controversia. DC obviamente tienen que darle el green light antes de que puedan producir un episodio, y aparentemente había un episodio en el que ellos querían insinuar que Batman le dio oral a Gatúbela y DC dijo no, porque dice que los héroes no hacen eso, y todo el mundo como que, pero qué clase de hombre débil es Batman que no complace a su dama así.
Los héroes no hacen eso.
Ay, Dios mío.
Heroes don't do that.
But yes, para que
Eso hago como con una camisa, heroes don't do that.
Heroes don't do that.
Pero para que entiendas cuán adult es esta serie, ellos querían meter ese chiste, querían tirarse el chiste de que Batman le da oral a Catwoman. So.
Ay, Dios mío. Pero that would be great to watch, like, soon. But since I'm watching Naruto...
Oh, dear God, you're going to be there a long time.
Yes, I know. And I'm still in season 4.
I rage quit Naruto porque I just couldn't take Sasuke's bullshit, man.
Okay, so I'm doing the same thing. Like, I'm rage quitting, but not because of Sasuke. Because of the one most useless character in at least the first, show, which is Naruto, is Sakura.
Oh, so, of course. Pero nada, we are digressing hard.
Not necessarily, because we're talking about series and coming into that.
Están conectadas con lo que viene.
Everything's connected.
Everything's connected.
But we got the Emmys. The Emmys are coming up. And we got to announce a couple of, nominees. If you guys want to go ahead, we got drama series, which is nominated Better Call Saul, Euphoria, Ozark, Severance, Squid Games, Stranger Things, Succession, and Yellow Jacket. There's some of them that I haven't seen, but I know about Euphoria. Squid Games was, and Stranger Things.
Squid Game yo la vi también. Muy bueno.
I feel like Squid Games is gonna win this. Like, we need another win for the Asian community as well. But it was so well done. It was so action packed. It was so tension.
Suspenseful too.
Tension. Oh my God.
Sí, fue bien diferente.
Podemos hablar de spoilers un momentito sobre Squid Game.
Ajá.
Okay. El twist del viejito.
Zero.
I don't cry often in TV shows and movies. Pero la escena en la que supuestamente le tocó al viejo morir, I choked up. Y después cuando me enteré que, what? Que you were behind everything.
Ajá.
Como que, cabrón, yo lloré por ti.
Sí, como me cogiste de tonto aquí.
No es solamente eso, es también, se atrevió a decir, es como que, siempre ellos escogieron esto, siempre tuvieron chance de irse. Yo vete para el mismísimo carajo capitalista de mierda. Como que,
It was made so well that you can fall in love with the character, it kills off, or lo hicieron tan y tan bien que you felt betrayed. Like if somebody betrayed you.
Actually, it was so good. Like some of the deaths really hurt.
Oh, yeah.
Sí. En ese mismo juego, creo que es que se mueve, ese era el de las canicas, ¿verdad?
Sí, de las canicas, sí.
Ay, el tipo otro que le dice, no, que tú vas a volver con tu esposa, que es un revolú ahí, con que lo cogió de tonto también, ajá.
Ay, Dios
Ah,
mío,
eso me...
Catch-22.
Desgraciado.
This show is a catch-22 all over.
This show is really good, pero es bien fuerte. It's
not for the faint of heart, for sure.
It is not. No, it is not. Pero también, like, Squid Game has some good competition.
Euphoria is another one that it's like a lot to take. At least I haven't seen it, but the topics that they touch.
Yo traté de ver Euphoria, pero me deprimí también. Empecé a ver y le dije, esto es demasiado fun. Y no seguí.
Si yo tengo que ver una serie sobre depresión y crisis existenciales, yo tengo que, you gotta like traérmelo con comedia. Por eso es que si quiero ver una serie que es sobre depresión, yo veo BoJack Horseman. Precisamente porque toca un montón de temas fuertes. Hay episodios que te dejan como que holy
es verdad.
Pero como es una comedia, te deja como que absorber eso un poco más fácil.
No necesariamente también tiene que ser comedia, pero también puede ser touching these topics. A Midnight Gospel touched those topics, but they made it in such a way that didn't give you depressed until the last episode.
Estoy viendo algunos de los snubs. Por ejemplo, un snub Atlanta. Esa es la que está producida por Donald Glover. Esa me sorprende que no ha sido nominada.
No, para nada.
I've heard nothing but good things about Atlanta. Y que Donald Glover es una de esas figuras famosas que es como que, like, God damn it, I hate how much I love you. Porque
he's a diamond in the rough.
He's funny. He's a great musician.
Tremendous talent in music.
Apparently a great TV producer. Tremendo actor. Tremendo comediante. And he's handsome to boot.
Oh, super handsome.
Tenemos un running gag en mi casa, mi novia y yo, que es como que, obviamente yo lo conocí como Troy en Community. So anytime Donald Glover does something cool, you're like, stupid, sexy Troy.
That's cute. That's cute. But wouldn't that be considered? Atlanta is not comedy; it's drama, right?
It's a drama.
Sí. Pero él no está nominado. Yo pensaba que él había tenido alguna nominación, nada.
Algo ahí.
Yo creo que es más por.
Yo creo que es por actor, no es por.
Sí. Jason Bateman, Brian Cox. No. Where is? I am now curious to see.
Lead actor in a comedy series. He was nominated.
Okay.
¿Por qué, perdón?
Really?
For Atlanta, he was nominated as the lead actor.
Okay.
Yeah. So at least he has something there.
Mm-hmm.
But for what I can see, I don't see any other, But we can also advance a little bit for comedy series that I think a lot of other people are more into nowadays because of the weight of the world that we have. And for a comedy series, the nominations are About Elementary, Barry, Curb Your Enthusiasm. I do not know how many times I've heard a joke about Curb Your Enthusiasm. One called Hacks, The Marvelous Miss Maisel, Only Murders in the Building, Ted Lasso, and What We Do in the Shadows.
Yo, What We Do in the Shadows.
What We Do in the Shadows is freaking hilarious.
Yes.
Very surprised that they got nominated. I'm hoping, and praying that they win.
It's just super. It's super funny.
The guy that drank the blood with the LSD was my favorite part. So.
¿Has visto esa serie?
Pues mira, el otro día salí con un pana que me la estaba recomendando y yo ni sabía que estaba nominada para eso. He visto el piloto, la busqué y dije, pues déjame verla, y busqué el piloto y lo vi en Hulu, pero no he visto todavía más. Pero sí me la metieron súper bien.
Yeah, it's weird. Ahora es como muchas series, like ese primer season is where they're still finding their footing. pero usualmente para el final del primer season en adelante es when it gets really good.
Sí, sí, eso suele pasar.
Like that. Most comedy
Sí.
series, because you can see that in The Office. The Office started out being very, very slow and nobody really liked him, but once you get really, really into it,
Exacto. Y en Parks,
también.
de hecho, la primera season de Parks yo la tuve que ver como, yo dije, decía, es que no me gusta, y después la amé. Pero sí, pero la tengo en la lista ahí para seguir viéndola.
So, I would say What We Do in the Shadows would be the
Yo vi
winner.
Above Elementary.
And what you can say about it?
Pues a mí me gustó, pero yo tengo yo soy maestra, yo vi muchas cosas también como que me podía conectar, pero en general me gustó, es como, no sé si la han visto, es como estilo también The Office, que es como mockumentary de esta escuela y todo lo que pasan las maestras, y está la maestra como que la protagonista, súper positiva y todo va a salir bien y vamos a dar el 100% versus las otras más viejitas que es como que no, nena, ya nosotras hicimos eso y esto no funciona así. Queremos, pero no funciona así. A mí me gustó.
Lo que es eso, Brooklyn Nine-Nine con la policía, The Office con general office work. Algo que me gusta de estas comedias es que disfrazado con las risas te traen issues verdaderos de que esta gente en estas líneas de trabajo tienen que pasar.
Definitivo. En The Office yo me identifiqué varias veces porque yo trabajo en una oficina.
I could never get into The Office. I tried a couple of times, pero Brooklyn Nine-Nine, I loved it.
I love it. It's just right now for me, it's such a comfort show that I can just leave it in the background. I already know where I'm at.
Yo también. Es como que casi una terapia. De verdad que.
We all have that one show.
Yeah, la mayoría de las mías son animated, though. I'm more of an animated.
I mean, mine is Futurama. Like I've seen Futurama so many times. I got my DVDs right there, all of them.
Futurama, Classic Simpsons, para series de mi niñez, Ed and Eddie and Hey Arnold.
First, the Cowardly Dog, bro. For me,
First, the Cowardly Dog. Yeah,
it's so good. But we also have stuff like limited series. Apart from our comfort series, apart from these series that are being nominated, I'm not a big fan of limited series, even though I did watch Obi-Wan Kenobi because I'm a huge Star Wars fan. But I'm not a fan because I feel like if I really like it so much, it's going to break my heart knowing that it might not come back.
Pues yo soy al revés. Porque a mí me gustan las series, pero siento que a veces esta serie está cool, pero me consume demasiado tiempo. Y si son muy largas y la descubrí ahora y tengo que empezar y ya tiene 10 seasons en lo que llego a donde estoy, pero las series así, pues digo, ok, voy a invertir en este tiempo, son 10 episodios, después se acabó y, sí, me ha pasado que como tú dices, que me gustó mucho y digo, diantre, ahora no voy a ver más nada de esto, aquí se acabó la historia, pero pues también, lo pude cumplir, pude completarla.
A mí también es que como uno de mis problemas más grandes son cuando las series go on for too long. Like, there's a reason I keep mentioning classic Simpsons and not just The Simpsons. Porque ya los Simpsons han llegado a un punto que es como que, like, they're a shadow of their former selves.
Yeah, other examples like Supernatural and Doctor Who as well.
Diablo, ¿cuántas veces han peleado contra Dios y el demonio en Supernatural?
No sé, yo perdí la cuenta ya.
Yeah.
Con Doctor Who mayormente es porque it's almost the same situation on every single regeneration, but it's still a good one.
Hay ciertas excepciones, like I'll always love Dragon Ball, but that's because it's de infancia. I know Dragon Ball should have ended a while ago, but you know what? Fuck it, I'm in it. I'm in it for the season.
We got lo opuesto de Dragon Ball, que esto sigue completamente. Es One Piece que no.
El eterno One Piece.
El eterno One Piece. That's the sad part is it is really good. I've seen it. I've read it. It's worth the hype. It's just you gotta dedicate so much time to it.
I don't know why I didn't like it. I only saw the first two seasons, and I'm like, it's not for me.
Man, es que también es the first One Piece doesn't get good until the Arlong Park arc, que es como el cuarto arc, major story arc. That's the one where they fight like the shark guy.
Oh, I've seen videos of that.
Yeah, that's where I think it gets really good.
I wish the Emmys did like an anime one. Would they ever do that?
Yo creo que habría que chequear si Japón tiene su propio equivalente a los Emmys.
Sort of.
So, ahí es donde yo asumiría ver algunos awards que le irían a algunos anime series.
Yeah, and I'm gonna fast forward the lead actors and actresses because, you know.
I will say, lo único que voy a añadir es que he estado viendo Better Call Saul, and Bob Odenkirk is amazing in that show. Like
is it nominated for something?
Yes, it is. Bob Odenkirk is nominated for Best Lead Actor.
Ooh, okay.
Bueno, ¿ustedes han visto Breaking Bad?
Yes.
He visto, sí.
Saul Goodman, like, we see different sides to him in that show, pero como en esta serie él es el protagonista, le vemos un range tan wide para este personaje, and it's really good. Like, Bob Odenkirk se bota, hay escenas que es como que...
Yeah, because I remember watching him in Breaking Bad. It was kind of funny.
Exacto.
When I saw, okay, so we got Better Call Saul, I'm here like, this is going to be a comedy.
It kind of is at first. And then the drama kicks in.
Okay. So it's another series that I would add to the list because Breaking Bad was so good.
Yo también.
So good. And to have a little bit more of that, that'd be great.
Yeah, it is. Si te gustó Breaking Bad, you're going to like Better Call Saul.
Perfect.
And it's personaje que you might have missed return, como Mike, el matón, el viejo matón.
El viejo matón.
Wow.
Yeah, Mike fue uno de mis personajes favoritos de Breaking Bad. Lo sufrí tanto cuando él murió en Breaking Bad. Y él es uno de los protagonistas de Better Call Saul. So, como que, yay, more Mike.
Okay, Mike. Yeah, Mike. Yeah. This is going to be a little bit interesting to mention because I wanted to kind of advance into other series because they got variety talk series. I didn't know that they had that as a category.
I mean, it makes sense.
You got the common ones. You got The Daily Show with Trevor Noah, Jimmy Kimmel Live, Last Week Tonight with John Oliver, Late Night with Seth Meyer, and The Late Show with Stephen Colbert. And Stephen Colbert, for me, who has been like classic talk show, and Jimmy Kimmel too, but
I'm more of a Trevor Noah guy.
Trevor Noah is so new to me, and I just started seeing his stand-up. He's pretty funny.
I mean, lo que me sorprende en Trevor Noah is that he's not just funny, he's actually really intelligent.
Very smart, yeah.
Se nota de la manera que él habla and he carries himself, que este es un hombre culto, he's a learned man. But he's also really funny.
So what I was trying to say, like, now I'm seeing some categories that I didn't think they actually had categories for this, and we got the competition program as well. So we got The Amazing Race, Lizzo's Watch Out for the Big Girls, Nailed It, RuPaul's Drag Race, Top Chef, The Voice. And for me, that one is a bit difficult to choose because The Voice, Top Chef, RuPaul.
Here we go. Aquí tenemos one I'm interested in. Outstanding animated program.
Oh,
mira.
Arcane, awesome. Bob's Burgers, classic. Rick and Morty, of course.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
Really, The Simpsons. A Simpsons episode, a modern Simpsons episode, got nominated for an Emmy. Pixelated and Afraid. Habrá que chequearlo.
Hay que verlo, hay que buscar cuál es ese.
I am still trying to find it in the list.
Y tenemos What If. Ahora aquí también están mencionando específicamente cuáles episodios son.
Sí, son por episodios, sí.
El de What If, el episodio que es nominado, it's the Doctor Strange one, which honestly, yeah, it's I'd say that's one of the better ones of that show. The show overall is kind of a mixed bag, pero ese episodio was really good.
But it's just Arcane. I'm not saying that episode specifically, like the whole series in of itself was so good.
Yeah, yo no juego League, and I did not need to play League to watch it.
I played a little bit of League before, and actually made Jinx when I used to play League. And she was a cool character, and seeing her background was very interesting.
Sí, a mí lo que me gusta es, mira, a mí me encanta la animación y una de mis frustraciones más grandes con la animación es cómo tiene este estigma que es para niños pequeños. Y me encanta cuando sale algo en animación que es como que no, esto es adulto, pero tampoco hay dos modes para animación típicamente en televisión. Caricaturas para niños o caricaturas para adultos a los Simpsons o Family Guy.
Exacto, al extremo de...
Es como que Arcane es una serie de acción y drama animado. So es como que, ok, es adulto, es bien adulto. Los temas que tocan son bien adultos.
It reminds me a lot of Clone Wars and Rebels and all that stuff.
Yeah, pero es toca temas de lo que es clases sociales, trama, crimen, y es una escena de acción. Las escenas de pelea son espectaculares. It's really good. I am so glad que esta serie fue un big hit, porque ahora a ver si quizás más estudios le metan dinero a hacer más series similares. Because I love action, I love animation, I love action.
Yeah.
Mis series animadas favoritas son lo que es Avatar, Samurai Jack, Justice League. Pues esas series de acción, it's like, me encanta. Y hubo una época en la que it was just comedy. And I like comedy when it's done right, don't get me wrong, but I miss the action.
The action.
I'm so glad it's back.
I kind of want to mention this one because it's in the Outstanding Short Form Animated Program.
Uh-huh.
And it's something that pissed me off, but at the same time, you know, whatever, you do you. And it's the Death and Robots Hibaro.
I have not
because
seen that episode.
When everybody saw this episode, everybody thought, wow, this has to do with Puerto Rico. This has to do with how, you know, they raped and killed females, and this is our way of taking it back. And this, we thought definitely this has to do with Puerto Rico, but the one who created this episode said, oh, he just found this random word.
What?
That it's something from Africa and this and
random word.
To put it.
Chico.
Without knowing the history behind what Hibaro is.
Pues ahí,
it's such a lost opportunity, and the episode in itself was so beautifully made, so incredible, because I don't know if you mind spoilers, Josue.
Yeah, go ahead.
So she is portrayed as like this siren because she screams, and that's how she kills her enemies, for them not to touch, whatever. And then there's this one enemy that is deaf. He can't hear her scream, so he can't be affected by her. So she saw that as something interesting. But since los conquistadores, because these were dressed up as conquistadores, took advantage of her. So the curse was for him to hear and die, basically. And it was such a missed opportunity because it has so many representations of what we experienced here in a couple years ago. Mira, como si fuese ayer. Many years ago in Puerto Rico. I'm not sure if I'm kind of content on that it's nominated for an outstanding short form animated in that category, because for the people who understand the word behind it, it's kind of, I don't know, it's offensive.
Yeah, that kind of sucks, though, right? Porque, like, you gotta make the effort. If you're gonna use a word because it sounds cool, you should always check si no tiene algún otro historial. Porque ahora jíbaro, right now it's just un término que nosotros puertorriqueños utilizamos y que según él también tiene un origen africano. Pero what if he accidentally used a slur?
También. I mean, there's so many cases throughout cinema history that they use the word gypsy. Some people who are from these clans don't like to be called gypsies because
They're
it is
Romani.
a racial slur to them.
Yeah.
Ujú.
They're Romani. Un ejemplo es, hay un personaje in that old 2000s Teen Titans show called Hotspot. Before he was named Hotspot, he was named Joto. And in Mexico, Joto is slang for gay.
Ah,
So es como que you always gotta check, man. If you're
claro.
gonna-
Check what you're
Bueno,
trying
lo
to.
que estábamos hablando ahorita de la historia, de las películas que te meten una historia y no es verdad, y sabes, como que si tú deberías, si encontraste algo que te llamó la atención, por lo menos averiguar.
And
Un
the funny
poquito.
thing is, it's just so accurate. The episode is so accurate to what of the,
Sí que
the
tú-
experience and representation in Puerto Rico, and then you're telling us, oh, you just found this random word to name the episode.
Qué bajón.
Okay. ¿Qué pasó ahí?
Yeah.
No sé, yo por lo menos con esa categoría yo me quedo con Star Wars Vision porque that was good. Every single episode of Star Wars Vision was so good. There was not one that I said it was bad. And the animation of each and every single episode was incredible.
Yeah.
And recognizable too, because I don't know about you, Josue, but did you see it?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I could recognize a couple of those artworks.
I don't know enough about like animate studios to recognize them all, but yeah, this one definitely gave me vibes of like the CGI intros from the JoJo series and stuff.
Yeah, there was one that looked very se me olvidó el nombre. Soul Eater.
Yeah.
Soul Eater.
Específicamente, like it's the first one. It's the duel, que el homenaje a las películas de Kurosawa and like other samurai movies.
Absolutely beautiful. And let's not mention the umbrella lightsaber hybrid.
Umbrella lightsabers. It's so good.
I don't remember. Deke put a name specifically on it, and I don't remember right now what he said, but it's like a normal Japanese umbrella, and every single piquito is a lightsaber, a red lightsaber.
That is so dumb, but so good.
And the action was incredible, and the ambiguity of the ending was interesting too, because you don't know if the main character is Jedi or Sith, Empire or Rebel, or it's so open-ended. I'm hoping that second season they do another episode of this style, talking about his story. I mean, to me, this is just
yeah. But yeah, that was a really good short. That series in general. I love animation.
Animation. It's a variety. It's so expansive that you can do practically anything, and probably even more than live action. And it takes way.
Claro.
Especialmente like muchas de las grandes películas que están saliendo para cine are half animated anyway, with so much computer imagery that they use.
Literal.
Hay veces que es como hay películas que es como que, hermano, you might as well just make this completely computer generated. Avatar.
Talking about the
Literal.
named, right?
Hmm?
Or Avatar, the blue guys.
The
Blue guys.
Okay, thank God, because if you guys were talking about I was about to like grab my DVD and just shut up. Like,
No, we're not talking about the Abomination directed by M. Night Shyamalan.
Nope.
Shyamalan?
I whatever.
Okay. But yeah.
Yeah,
Do we have...
Stellar Spain. I was also sad to give it more meaning. Exactly.
Yeah.
It's just. I hope he had a little bit of a backlash for him to be more aware of what he does with his episodes, but let's see.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, a lot of these. I hope he's humble enough to accept it because tenemos going back to Avatar, tenemos gente como James Cameron, who's like very arrogantly just saying, la gente se quejan de Avatar, pero después de verla se cae en su jodida boca. And I'm like,
Oh, Dios, qué lindo.
yeah, I just saw it
Qué humilde.
I just saw it the other day, and no, James, I still don't like your stupid movie.
Oh, it doesn't matter how many times you see it.
Like, I only shut the fuck up in the sense that I was bored and half asleep.
Ay, bendito. I'm just hoping these Emmys at least are not like you know, the slappening, if you guys remember that with Will Smith.
No, por favor. No más.
More drama. I just want the drama that surge de, oh no, this should have been, the
El
one
que
that
ganó.
is
As
not
God
anything
intended.
else from that. Like,
Sí, ya como que
learn from this lesson.
Mhm.
But yeah.
vamos a ver qué pasa. Aunque yo creo que los Oscars son los que están tratando cada vez de como que, bueno, no puedo decir tratando.
Los
pero
the Oscars are so desperate to be relevant.
Exactamente.
Yeah, but
Son
it's
los que
slowly
están
weeding out.
Yeah.
Even though I'm not the type of person who watches these shows anymore.
Yeah, I'm not much of an award show kind of guy. Pero es que también, the only award shows que de verdad I would actually watch was the Oscars, and then I learned about like the biases they have and shit. Y es como que me desilusioné tanto. At the end
yo
of the
veía
day,
los Oscars también full.
They get your hopes up, and then it once you kind of kill that for me, I'm not gonna keep watching.
Yeah, with me it's just that like these biases, like how they were like, oh, animation's easy. It's like, oh, fuck you guys. O cuando nominan películas de terror como Silence of the Lambs, like y dicen, oh, this is a thriller. No, fuck you, it's a horror movie. You gave a horror movie an Oscar.
No dijeron que esa es un thriller.
Yeah, es como que, no, Silence of the Lambs is a horror. You will respect it as a horror.
Mm-hmm.
Don't try to call it something else just because tú tienes un desprecio a ese género.
Tienes un issue con eso.
Sí, yo quisiera que tenga más like there was a couple of sorry, horror series that I would have loved to see nominated as well, but these are old series like Blind Manor, or there was a couple other ones that I don't remember right now from the top of my head. But Blind Manor,
horror and animation are both genres that don't get their due respect when awards come around.
Not at all.
Okay, animation at least has its own category.
Exacto.
So they got that. Pero horror, good luck.
Sí, horror es como que imaginado, ¿no? Esta historia no sirve.
Horror has so many subgenres as well, because you got horror thrillers, paranormal horror, you got serial killer horror, you got bloody ones, you got the comedy ones, and I'm pretty sure I can give you a bunch of movies that would have been nominated and won for every single category in horror, but it's not for everybody, even though there's so many that really like horror. Like, ¿cuánta gente no ha ido a ver Halloween Kills?
Yeah, it's why I have my issues with award shows. We mostly talk about them because we have to. Son parte, nos gusta, ¿no? Son parte del análisis y la discusión about media, television, and film. But I do always have my problems with award ceremonies, mainly because of the politics around them.
Definitely.
And I don't mean politics as in Republican or Democrat, so you know what I mean.
Yeah. The politics, the categories, everything. I mean, just everything. Even the performances are kind of cringy sometimes.
Oh yeah. Again,
it's all live. Because I remember a couple of them being like, I don't know if this was a musical award though, but like outfit problems and malfunctions, and then you got the freaking Will Smith one that was like completely unpredictable, and they don't know how to control that or how to manage it for not more drama. And then you got the people who they get nominated, they start talking and then doing their speech, y le hacen tiraera, or vaguely says something that is revolutionary or is rebeldía. Y no saben controlar eso también, because técnicamente for us, this has to be something that's proper. And yes, you're, trying to create awareness,
Claro.
but in other ways as well.
Sí, por eso digo, yo no sé hasta qué punto, en verdad, ellos como que se supone que esto lo hagamos así porque esto es muy ético y muy todo, o dejan que las cosas pasen por lo mismo, porque queremos estar, que la gente nos vuelva a ver. Ajá, pues déjalo que pase, déjalo. So,
Yeah, como lo que estaban diciendo con Will Smith, if it were a white man, it would have been a whole nother story. I don't know what story that is, because I'm still saying, okay, you got slapped in front of live television, but just saying.
sí, sigue siendo acto. Pero sí, si él hubiera sido blanco, maybe hubiera hecho como que más cosas. Aún.
I think we've exhausted algo the topics here un poquito. ¿Algunos de ustedes tienen algunos predictions? ¿Quiénes tú crees que van a ganar en cuál género? Por ejemplo, en drama yo diría que either Squid Game o Euphoria serían los ganadores.
I'm hoping for Squid Game. I'm really hoping for Squid Game.
Yo preferiría Squid Game.
Squid Game because it's just such a good show. Es extranjero, which award movies love that shit. Award shows love that shit. Toca un tema bien relevante sobre capitalismo y las clases sociales.
Euphoria is a close second, but I think that Zendaya would win lead actress. If that's where she's at. I don't remember.
Yeah.
I did see that she was nominated for something specifically, but I don't remember if it was lead actress.
Yeah, she is.
Yo creo que sí.
It might be the case that Squid Games might win best drama, but Zendaya will win lead actress because she did such a good job. She's an incredible actress. It doesn't matter what genre she's in, she does flawlessly.
Yeah,
in comedy, though, y'all know what I'm gonna say. Y'all know what I'm gonna say. That one is the most funniest one, and that's wow. How did I forget the name?
What We Do in the Shadows.
Esa misma. I was gonna say Dark.
That's the one I want to win, but that's to be fair, it's the only one I'm personally familiar with, so I got a bias.
I mean, in this case, we're all biased in some sort of way because we can't watch it all either.
Sí, es demasiado.
En cuestión de animación animated, I would go for either Arcane or Rick and Morty serían the most likely. Aunque Bob's Burgers always, you never know, but Bob's Burgers is a very beloved show. It's a really good comedy.
I love Burgers.
Más que Los Simpsons, Bob's Burgers is the animated sitcom that most speaks to the current zeitgeist.
I say as well. What if the Doctor Strange episode was really heart-wrenching?
Yeah, it was really good too.
So I guess watch, almost.
But I would honestly be surprised si ese gana. Watch, Lex is probably gonna send me a text like, "Guess who won, motherfucker?" And I'm gonna be like, "Oh,
well then, this is a surprise."
Well, I will eat my own hat then. I don't have a hat, but I'll buy one and I will eat it.
And I'm hoping Hibaro doesn't win. Sorry.
No, la embarró.
La embarró bien brutal.
Yo en verdad no he visto casi nada de eso. So, Diablo Elementary, solamente ya pues para la comedia que me gustó mucho. Sé que la actriz está nominada y la serie, no creo que ganen, pero es lo único que he visto. So, no voy a...
Well, all we know is that all of these shows are gonna be ahora todo en sus promociones más de the Emmy Award.
Oh, of course.
Oh yeah, that's
porque
like
como que...
a piggybacking of, hey, we won this. Watch us again.
Debo ser bueno.
Like, what else are you gonna do? You're still locked in your house.
Okay, so XB and Rich Poor Lex, but the pirate episode for Love, Death, and Robots should have been nominated, and I agree with him. And I also say the rats one also should have been nominated. There's a couple episodes throughout Love, Death, and Robots that are really good, better than Hibaro.
I wonder what the process is for them to decide on the one episode to represent the show.
I'm not sure. Maybe they'll eventually do something and show us the process of it, because once Love, Death, and Robots, the first season was on Netflix, everybody thought it was revolutionary. It was better than Black Mirror and all that stuff. En cuestión de cómo ellos why am I having issues talking? The way they executed every episode. Like Black Mirror was okay, but Love, Death, and Robots executed all these episodes perfectly. And wait, how are you gonna have an episode named Hira with no hip?
No, Hibaro.
Thank you. I mean,
that's what happens when you just.
At first, we thought.
That's what happens when you pick a cool name out of a hat and not actually think about the implications.
Y para ellos que es cool, porque para nosotros llamar a alguien jíbaro es nada. Eso es parte de nuestra cultura, no es parte de nuestra.
Claro.
Jíbaro.
It's like if I were to make an action series about a warrior, and it's like, oh, I'm gonna call him fucking Maya. All right. Él es un indígena maya. No, I just think it sounds cool.
Exacto.
Exactamente.
Next episode named Black Panther about
germ farmers.
German farmers.
Of course.
Yeah. Vamos a ver. Pero I think that's all the predictions. Anybody else?
Sí, yo leí por encima que mucha gente estaba como que esperaban que nominaran a la nena de Stranger Things.
Oh, Millie Bobby Brown.
Max. No, a las dos, creo que ninguna de las dos las nominaron. La que hizo el personaje de Max también. Pero no salieron nominadas. Nada aparte de que la serie esté nominada como mejor drama, no hay, creo que no hay nadie como actor.
I mean, the only one that I would say that it would be potentially winning something, Zendaya, and maybe a couple others, but Zendaya is top of the list for me.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
all right. I think we are exhausted the topics here. I think it's time we do our little send off. Empezando con Adi, where can we find you?
Pues me pueden encontrar por Instagram, por Corazón en Escabeche, y por Facebook, por Corazón en Escabeche, y Mi Vida de Película.
Okay. Bells.
okay, so yo soy como Orengo aquí, and I have so many podcasts to show you guys. Every here in Cine Nerds, was it bi-weekly? We're doing it again?
We're doing it again bi-weekly, yes.
He has their Sam monthly. You can find me at Get Fucking Show todos los martes a las 7 p.m. as your fellow news anchor. And Puerto Rican Holocron whenever we're establishing that again. If you like Star Wars.
All right. Y yo, aparte, whenever I'm not doing this, I just go back to the realm where I have come from, and I slumber. And
I love this bit.
yeah, until I am summoned again, in which case I have to do my hot takes and trail off, as I say. Anyway, nos informaron Lex que before our final sign off, tenemos un trailer para ver.
Yes.
Ah.
The only way these women are going to go on the record
As if they all jump together.
Why is sexual harassment so pervasive and so hard to address? Let's interrogate the whole system.
Hi, my name is Jodi Cantor. I'm an investigative reporter for the New York Times.
What have you got?
I was told that the wrongdoing in Hollywood is overwhelming.
I don't want to be quoted. Period.
Understood.
In your previous stories,
How did you persuade women to tell you what had happened to them?
A case I made was, I can't change what happened to you in the past, but together we may be able to help protect other people. The truth, basically. What is it exactly that we're looking at here?
These young women walked into what they all had reason to believe were business meetings.
I can still see it, the hotel room, the floor plan.
He kept trying to touch me.
I asked him to leave me alone.
Instead, they say he met them with threats and sexual demands.
I was young, scared.
Hi. We're from the New York Times. I believe you used to work for Harvey Weinstein.
People have tried to write this story before. He kills it every time.
Harvey adamantly denies any allegation of assault.
He played people. He was a master manipulator.
Will you give me just one chance to talk to you?
Are you sure that this isn't just young women who want to sleep with a movie producer to try to get ahead?
This is bigger than Weinstein. This is about the system protecting abusers.
The women who receive these settlements, they can't speak out. They'll be sued if they do. But if someone could speak freely about the payouts...
What payouts, John?
You have to imagine that every call you make is being recorded and you're being followed.
Can you imagine how many Harveys there are out there?
You want to get me killed?
Do you wish you hadn't signed up for this story?
Do you?
No.
The only way these women are going to go on the record
Is if they all jump together.
We're all here, Harvey.
Who have you talked to?
I have 3 daughters, and I don't want them to ever accept abuse or bullying. I'll go on the record.
Go write. It's time to write.
This is all going to come out.
I was silenced. I want my voice back.
Wow. Well, that was heavy.
Oof.
Thank you, Lex, for the heavy hit.
So it is.
No lo voy a venir.
Esencialmente es una dramatización del escándalo de
Harvey Weinstein.
Asaltos sexuales de Harvey Weinstein.
Oh my God. That's going to be a very difficult movie to watch. Not because it's going to be bad, but it's such a hard topic. It's such a hard case. Es fuerte.
Pero definitivamente la quiero ver. Es fuerte, pero...
Es una de esas películas que si está bien hecho, it's gonna sweep award ceremonies.
Bien brutal.
Y ya el reloj se siente así.
Pero ya tuviera también esta película, if it gets enough attention, va a ser bien controversial. Van a abrir mucho, va a haber mucha... ¿cómo se llama? Artículos y video essays
va a dar puerta y también va a reabrir lo que es el movement. Definitivo. We're going to see a wave of more people probably coming up and speaking out from your abusers and against your abusers and doing all this. It's a necessity almost to see this movie. And I'm glossing the fact that we had the Johnny Depp and Amber Heard situation, but that's a whole nother thing.
Sí, definitivamente yo pienso que a partir de esto vamos a volver al inicio de cómo se empezaron a salir todas estas noticias y mucha gente más va a seguir hablando. So, yo la quiero ver. Ya yo la vi y sé que es fuerte, pero la quiero ver.
Desde que vi el trailer, she said, I was like, oh shit.
I'm gonna need to wear like waterproof mascara, waterproof everything, because I'm going to be crying like a...
No mascara.
All barefaced.
Ese día.
No.
Para mí, like, if I watch it, one of the things with me es que, like, I'm pretty low-key with my expressions. So, el único concern que yo tengo es que es como que, like, my girlfriend's going to be looking at me when watching the movie. It's like, hon, what are you thinking? And I'm like, girl.
Es que yo creo que va a haber también un montón de gente que va a estar gritando en el cine.
Yeah.
Sí.
This can go either really good
really
and be
bad.
like a damn good drama, or they could miss the point entirely, or maybe their ambition doesn't no llega a su capacidad and it's like falls short. I hope it's good because it's such an important topic.
Yo espero que sea buena. ¿Sabes?
Bueno, vamos a tener el review cuando salga.
Cuando salga.
Pretty sure we're all gonna watch it just to give that more hype, more than anything. Even if it's a bad movie, like I would give it more hype.
I love it. All right, well, so we already did our send-offs prematurely. It's always fun to see you guys. Let's hope for the full crew to be available next time. Pero pues, life is that life will always throw little curveballs at us. Just like how Lex threw us this curveball after us talking shit about award ceremonies and throwing us a movie about basically the start of the Me Too movement.
Thank you, Lex.
Sí.
We love you, Lex.
Voy con esto a dormir ahora. Gracias.
I'm crying. Okay. La máscara que tenía extra ya está en la cama mía.
En la almohada, ahí está. Okay, ahí está.
Okay.
Bueno.
But this is us signing off.
Bueno.
Thank you for everything.
Un placer, chicos.
Bye.
Que descansen. Bye.